Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. If you're new, hey, what's up? Welcome. I got a new setup, so if you haven't seen any of my other videos, you can go back, check out my other setups. This is the one I think I'm rocking with this one so far. So it's the first video on this one. But anyways, we got things that we believed as kids. Doesn't need much of an introduction. We all believe some wild things as kids. Yeah, I'm gonna get straight to it. First up, we got traffic light control. Now, don't even leave me hanging. I know I'm not the only one who believed this, but I thought that the traffic light was being controlled by somebody. Specifically like a cop of the city or the county or whatever. I thought cops would just be, sitting up somewhere, switching it like, all right, I think enough cars are gone. Let me do this or let me do that. I didn't realize later that, hey, there's either a sensor at the light during certain times or, the light's timed. So yeah, that was a good, little lesson that I learned. Now, obviously, my mom was the one who told me like, oh no, it's just regular. I didn't realize there were sensors there until I want to say I was way older. Like I actually started like working because I thought it was just a timer. So yeah, if you didn't believe, if you knew for a fact it was sensors and timers since you came out the womb, hey, props to you. Next up, we got teachers living at the school. Now, I know a good amount of us believe that teachers did not go home. They didn't have a home life. They didn't have this thing such as a family, obviously at a young age, right? I'm pretty sure that went away for a lot of us at like 7, maybe 8. But especially like those super young teachers who you can tell really didn't have a lot of like, grumpiness to them. Those new teachers first year in, usually like some blonde white chick. Maybe she had like a boyfriend or something. She for sure didn't have kids or nothing of that sort. Yeah, we thought she lived at the school, let's not lie. And then also to add to that, we also thought that the principal was in charge of the school. And not only in charge of the school, but he's been in charge of the school since the school first opened up. Like when the principal would talk about building the school 50 years ago, meaning like the school was being done 50 years ago, we thought he was part of that process. We thought he had the white construction hat on, he was getting the job done. Little did we know that was not the case. Little did we know he was only 3 years into his principal stuff. And he was finna go out to be like a superintendent, get more money. Like we never thought these adults aged. Like we never thought that. Like we thought these adults had superpowers. We thought they were just there. And speaking of adults being just there and having superpowers, another thing we all thought as a kid was adult figures were never kids. We thought that adults were just born as adults. They just came up as adults. One being our parents, some of them being our grandparents, teachers, cops, like doctors that we went to go visit. Like we never thought these people were children, especially our grandparents. I still remember seeing like my mom's pictures as a kid, thinking like, oh, she was a kid before, what the heck? I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, oh. And then I'm looking at my dad's pictures. I'm seeing pictures that look like me. I'm over here thinking that's pictures of me when I was like real. Like, when did I take these pictures? I'm over here thinking that. And that's mainly because my dad was just a lighter skinned version of me when I was younger and when he was younger. And we for sure didn't think that our grandparents were ever kids. And we for sure didn't think our teachers went through school. So when our teachers talked about going through school and what they experienced in school and how they did it in school, we were like, what the heck? Not knowing that they also went through kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and so on and so forth. All right, so to the next topic, another thing that we thought as a kid, this is mainly me. I don't know if any of y'all else ever thought it, just let me know in the comments if so. But I thought God was watching us from the sky. Now, this is mainly for my church-going people. If you went to church when you were younger and you were taught about, Jesus and all that, this is for y'all. If you didn't go to church or you just don't believe, this kind of isn't for you. I still love you though. But when I was younger, they were teaching us, hey, God's watching us because, he's in heaven. So, he's in the sky, and, we thought that heaven was on a cloud, this and that, cloud 9, yada, yada, yada. But because I thought that, hey, God's watching me from the sky, I thought as soon as I like got indoors or had concealment up top, that he wasn't able to watch me anymore. I thought that's how it worked. So every time I do something bad and I wasn't outside, I'd be like, oh, I don't think God saw that. Now, obviously, a lot different. But yeah, like I said, that could have been just me. Let me know if any of y'all also fell for that. And also close to relation, I thought that Santa Claus was watching through like monitors and stuff. And then what would happen if I would do something bad? Because I only thought that, you had to be good from December 1st to like December 24th. And I would think that, hey, if I did something bad, I'd be like, all right, maybe Santa didn't catch me when I was doing this. Obviously, I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore, right? But that's how I think as a young buck. Now these adults, they did put fear in our eyes, you know, to keep us in check. Now granted, my mom, she told me that Santa Claus was not real. She told me that at like a very young age. Like I said, I grew up in a Christian household. And not saying if your parents told you that Santa Claus was real and you were in a Christian household that y'all were living in sin. You know, I'm just saying. All right, but next up, this one was kind of funny when I, but one thing I thought was that if I drank alcohol under the age of 21, that it could kill me, like it would kill me instantly. Now this is something I thought up until I was in high school and I saw people underage drinking. But I literally thought that if I like would accidentally like get some alcohol like on my tongue, like to that extent, like whether I'm chugging it, whether it's in a drink that I didn't know was in, that it could possibly kill me. And I probably thought that up until middle school. So I probably seemed stupid to my friends if I ever, you know, had that thought and told them that. Now granted, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all didn't even think that. I'm probably the only one. I thought the same thing for cigarettes as well. And you gotta keep in mind, when we were in elementary school, we had these big assemblies, pep rallies, especially in October, staying drug free, this and that and the third. And they'll tell us that, yeah, drugs and alcohol can cause you to have bad grades in school. Drugs and alcohol can put you in jail. Drugs and alcohol, you can die from it. They make you be disobedient to your parents, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, I didn't know how, you know, substances and vices, you know, worked at the time. You gotta give me some slack. I was under the age of 13. Not to mention, I wasn't a guy who pretended to know everything. Like if I didn't know something, I'll say that up front. All right, so next up, we got radio stations. Now, I know a good amount of us thought this, so don't even lie. But I thought that hearing a song on a radio station was that artist being in the studio and like having that song. I used to think they were singing a song, but then like my mind matured into thinking like, oh no, they just came in and be like, hey yo, put that song on. Sometimes I would think it was them singing a song, especially when they play like remixes or when, you know, the DJ chopped and screwed it up. You know, I'm from Texas, so chopped and screwed is a common thing, especially down in Houston. But yeah, being from Dallas and listening to K104, 97.9 The Beat, 105.7, you know that's just stuff that you listen to on your way to Wednesday Bible study with your mom, you know? And, you know, them old folks hear you singing a song from that station, they be like, what you know about this? Like, sir, I listened to this like in my mom's car. I spent a lot of time with my mom. I probably know more of the lyrics than you do. Like, you ain't the only dude who knows Outkast, Genuine, Silk, whoever. Just because I have a 2 at the front of my birth year does not mean you know more than me, bro. But yeah, no, radio stations were something I had no idea of. I didn't know it was just people calling. I would hear people calling in as well. And it was like, oh, shoot. I didn't know if it was live. I was so lost. But yeah, on to the next. Another thing that I feel like a majority of us thought, because I see a lot of people do it, was that it was illegal to have car lights on. Now, granted, this was our parents' fault. My mom told me that it was illegal to have them on. Like I said, I feel like a good amount of y'all's parents probably did the same. That was our parents' fault. Now, granted, I can't blame them because riding in the car with that light on, especially just for like me to like read. And my mom, she wasn't super proactive at the time. She wasn't the type of person to like give me like a miniature flashlight to read. Because, you know, I was the type of guy reading in elementary school. You know, I was trying to get them points. You know, get that season pass for Six Flags, you know what I'm saying? I used to read like crazy in elementary school. I was trying to get them, you know, they rewarded us, of course. Now, granted, some of y'all are struggling to read. Y'all got some bad reading levels. In high school, too, at that. Some of y'all in, you know, JC. No hate to the JCs. Shout out to my junior college people. But yeah, riding in the car with that light on is not fun. So I can't even be mad at our parents for telling us that it was illegal. And last up on this list, we got thinking that animals lived forever. Now, I don't know if anyone else thought that, but I thought that for sure. So I was pretty upset. I was pretty upset when dogs died. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. I might have cried. I cried at the death of some animals at my young age because I didn't think it was true, right? You know, you see a dog stop moving, whew, man, bringing me back, getting me teared up. But also that was more so like a fairy tale thing, I'm pretty sure. like with the death of animals, you know, thinking that they live forever, happily ever after, watching a lot of Disney, all that. You don't think they die, right? Now, granted, there are animals who don't die. Alligators and crocodiles, I'm on to y'all. Roaches, I'm on to y'all too. Dragonflies probably got a super long lifespan. You know those tortoises? They be living like 200 years. They watched slavery happen and didn't do anything about it. Let that be known. And they be attacking like black shoes. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I appreciate you for watching if you made it this far. I fixed my audio. My audio should be better. It shouldn't be perfect, but it should be better. I'm going to adjust it if it is bad, this video. But like I said, appreciate you for watching to the end. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you like the new setup. Give me some suggestions for some stuff I'm gonna put on my wall, because I do want to put some stuff back there. And yeah, not to take up too much of your time. Deuce.